practice
Mm.
sessions. They were very revealing to show basically like how much progress needed to be made, even in as something as simple as me telling about myself. There was so much thought that had to be put in to like craft the message, and then practice the message, practice the delivery. So there's all these levels of preparation that I wasn't even thinking about, right? Especially about introducing myself.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we'll be speaking with Venkat, who just started a new role. Venkat, welcome to this episode.
Thanks, Shobit. Nice to be here.
Awesome. Venkat, as we go in, do you mind giving just a 30-second snapshot of your career?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was with Amazon for over 10 years, and the back half of it was in product, and before that I was in other roles, and
Hmm.
now transitioning to another company in a product role.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. So many of the folks who are watching this, they're just going to be like, they want to understand your journey. They want to understand what made you decide, what
Mhm.
worked in the program for you, where you
Mhm.
headed, like all these amazing things they want to learn.
Mhm.
So tell us, before you joined Intentional Job Search, like, how far along were you in your job search, and what was day-to-day journey looking like?
Yeah, absolutely. So my day-to-day journey before I joined Intentional Job Search was basically I was like really, really busy at the job. So basically
Mm,
like working nights, weekends, trying to keep up with the job. And I had some inbound requests from recruiters wanting to interview at some one or two companies, and I just, did it on my own. I thought I would be kind of do okay, although I didn't think I would do great, but I ended up doing much worse than I thought I would do,
mm,
which is when I kind of realized that, it's better to like prepare properly because there's a lot of things I need to catch up on. And also the fact that I didn't really interview for my PM role at Amazon,
yeah.
so it kind of didn't give me like enough experience to try to get the next one.
Got it. Got it. So, and thank you for sharing that, because sometimes people tend to get a little overconfident about
Hmm.
interviewing, and like, here you are, experienced Amazon PM, like a lot of things that people aspire
Exactly.
to. And you're
Yeah.
like, yep, it's still difficult. So, okay, I appreciate that. So, okay, so now you start looking for solution, you come across intentional job search. Before you joined us, like, what were some of the biggest hesitations that you had?
I guess the hesitation, or more like what I really was looking for in a program, was a good quality material and a very structured approach. Because those are the things I needed support with, right? I mean, I was
Mm,
obviously motivated to like work hard and all that, but I just wanted to make sure there was a very structured approach, good quality material so that I'm not going to like five different places constantly trying to figure out
mm.
what the best approach is for everything. So yeah, those were the main things I was looking for.
Got it. Got it. You're looking for a structure report, all the materials, and you then analyze the intentional job search. What made you pull the trigger and say, "Cool, let's go for it"?
I think like watched some of your videos. I felt like you had a very like a sincere approach to guiding kids, and I kind of guiding candidates. Yeah, I kind of basically like instinctively felt like felt good about it. And then I
Hmm.
talked in a lot more detail with the person who I was working with to onboard or to make the decision, right, to sign up
Yeah.
and stuff. And they gave me a lot more details, which made me comfortable. I mean, as I said, right, I knew some guidance definitely has to be there. It was just a question of like something that I can find that's dependable and at the right level. And I felt like based on those conversations, I felt comfortable and confident with IJS, and then I made the decision, and it turned out to be a very good decision.
Awesome. You did your research. You spoke to the person. You'd seen my videos and you'd followed me. Amazing. Okay, Venkat. So now you start the program. Do you remember, like, first few weeks? What were like maybe some aha moments, or just something that stood out to you? Maybe something you expected or didn't expect.
The first few weeks, what stood out to me was that in some of the initial kind of tell me about yourself practice
Mm.
sessions. They were very revealing to show basically like how much progress needed to be made, even in as something as simple as me telling about myself. There was so much thought that had to be put in to like craft the message, and then practice the message, practice the delivery. So there's all these levels of preparation that I wasn't even thinking about, right? Especially about introducing myself. So that I think was something that's good learning for me to, to know that like you have to kind of think about these things in a very
Mhm.
targeted way and then practice, and like seeing your recordings, is really, really helpful because I don't think most people really understand that they're not really that good in interviews until you actually
Yeah.
look at the recordings.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, so you looked at sample recordings, and I agree, like such an important pitch that tell me about yourself. Any others that stood out initially?
Initially, the other things that stood out were that, initially it was mostly about the roadmap, like understanding the roadmap that was created by the program, and that was also like great thing for me because, as I said,
Hmm.
right, like I really wanted that structure to help me because I was already kind of drowning in the, all the other stuff like the job and the stress of all that. So having a very structured approach really freed up my mind kind of to focus on one thing at a time, not like stress about it too much, but just get through it one step at a time. So that was great.
Well, tell us about your new role, your new offer, the story of landing it.
Yeah, so the new role is with eBay. It's called query understanding and search relevance. So it's basically working on the search features within eBay, specifically in the motors and parts area. So the way I ended up getting the role is kind of interesting. It's actually based on one of the modules within IJS, where they teach you about networking, and that is one thing that I had like never really exercised that muscle
Mm.
at all. So that one was like a really good learning for me. And I started reaching out to all my old friends, the people that I knew, and I always found people were like willing to help, even
Mm.
though you haven't talked to them in a while. So I was actually like surprised by how open people were to help you. So and as part of that, like working through that networking module, I reached out to one of my old friends from Amazon. She
Hmm.
was at she's at eBay now, and I didn't even like bring up like that I'm looking for a job or anything. But towards the end of the call, she was like, "I have a job opening in my team," and so
Nice.
I was like, "Yeah, I would like to try that." And then I ended up talking to her, but then like that didn't actually work out. But then she referred me to someone else within the system,
Nice. Hmm.
and this actually happened three times before I ended up with this role.
Oh, within
Usually
eBay.
because they felt that the fit would be much better with the other role.
So, I mean, you clearly like impressed them enough that they were like, cool, this person should be at eBay and let's find the right role. And we've had
Mhm.
this happen too. Awesome. And kudos to you for doing those networking things because they can be challenging, but they work.
Yeah, I think most of the, I would say like probably 70%, of the interviews I got were from people who I knew, at some
Hmm.
point. And
Got it.
I did get some, maybe like, 30% were from like just online applying, but those were only if I was like a very, very, very good fit for that role. I would get the online response.
Actually, just exploring something, this means that when you're networking, like you could get past like the need for that, like perfect fit, 100%
Yeah.
requirements. That's amazing. That's amazing to hear. It's also encouraging for everyone because I do know product managers tend to get very fixated on, oh, if I'm not a perfect fit, I might not qualify, but you can work your way around that.
Yeah, especially I think, yeah, if you have some good relationship with a person and they have worked with you in the past, they're a lot more willing to be a little more flexible
Hmm.
because at that, in that situation, they know that you can manage different things and like some new things are okay.
Hmm.
But if you're just doing it online, then like it just has to be like exactly the perfect match,
Yeah,
I feel like.
perfect. That's very helpful. So, okay, last couple of questions. When you think of, if you were to describe intentional job search in your own words to somebody else who's considering it, how would you describe it?
Intentional job search, basically, like I would say, it's like having like a personal coaching team on your side who are supporting you, and that's what I really wanted. So you're basically getting this coaching team who are really pushing you. They have high standards, so you're not just like checking boxes and moving forward. So they're really pushing you to perform better and improve this interview process. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. There's a lot of other parts to it, but
Hmm.
main thing is like getting the coaching and support from the team as well as the overall community.
Love it. Love it. And then would you, anything like for someone considering anything you would tell them?
Yeah, so I think someone considering signing up, I think it's well worth taking a risk. The fees that you're paying is definitely worth it. It's a solid program with a lot of personal coaching and one-on-one kind of coaching, which is crucial for you, right? Rather than watching like a lot of videos and trying to do it on your own.
Yeah,
This is a completely different thing. So I would say it's definitely worth it, and it's something that you should invest in yourself for the long term.
love it. Venkat, thank you so much for taking the time to share this reflection, sharing this recording, and I'm sure people would really appreciate you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I really appreciate it, and I hope to stay in touch with you and the rest of the team.
Absolutely. Same here. Thanks.